And you've been riding it around in the rain.
Yeah.
So how's the tires?
So on the tire front, the 250 Duke gets MRF's steel radials.
Okay.
This bike gets the older, remember the 390 used to get an MRF tire for a while?
Yeah.
The Revs FC or something it was called, I think, the Zapper something. You get that tire now. Okay. So is it as good a tire as the 250 Dukes? No, but it's not a bad tire. And in the rain, I had no lack of confidence. So I had a good time riding it in the wet. It's a nice and grippy tire. There is obviously very easy upgrades from this tire if you want it, because this is the same size as all of the other KTMs. So there's a world of good tires in these sizes. So I would not stress about the tires. You're getting decent tires and you can always upgrade.
Well, clearly they're better than decent, right? Considering you're saying in the wet you've been riding it and
I think that kind of confidence should be the baseline. So I'm not saying that this is a great tire. I'm saying this is where the baseline should be at the very minimum. Because if a tire can't give you confidence in the wet, then maybe you shouldn't be using it as an OEM tire at all.
Okay.
Right? And honestly, I'm going pretty quickly in the wet nowadays. There's a lot of confidence. I've had a sequence of bikes that have really good tires too. So I'm very happy. And surprisingly, the Himalayan is the slipperiest of them, and it's not too slippery either. So we're in a good place right now. I'd just like to raise the standard because we can and we should. Okay. But there is room there. So if you were to take the same bike and you put Eurogrip Extreme on it, or you put the Road 5s on it, you'll have so much more grip even. And remember, this Duke 250 chassis is a good chassis in the sense it is nowhere close to the limit of its performance, because that's supposed to be like 46 bhp. It only makes 31, right? So there's very little you can do to get this chassis to a place where it says, okay, bro, it's too much. It just feels like, yes, we can do this, right? So
it's half asleep.
Yeah, it's a happy, easy machine. Because of the tires, the motorcycle again feels a little bit slower to turn. Not so slow that I'm going to call it lazy or whatever. It's not. It is reactive. It is responsive enough. But the Duke 250 will feel sharper. It will feel slightly more reactive. So again, the way the engine feels a little bit like, hey, chill, man. It's okay. The handling is also a little bit, hey, chill.
I'm actually going to say that's a good thing, because like the 390.
Yeah.
With that performance, that chassis is mad.
Yeah.
How quick it is. It's
Correct.
really, and I thought the second gen was fast.
Correct.
The third gen is another level altogether.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think that for new riders, this kind of laid back is probably a good thing.
It's good.
But I think the Duke has the better balance between the two 250s, where it is just sharp enough to be exciting. It is sharp enough to remain exciting for a long time, but it's not so sharp that it's going to scare a new rider immediately. It'll just, be one step ahead of the rider for a while. So you keep learning. This thing is more like it's in step with you. So it doesn't challenge you. It follows your instructions. Everything happens naturally. It's precise enough. It's friendly enough. It's nice. When this happens to the Speed 400, I reached the same conclusion. I'm not sure how long this bike will be able to keep you interested. That's my only concern with the Vitpilen.
So your bigger concern is the engine part of it?
No, I think it's both. And I like the fact that they're in balance with each other. But my overall feeling is that this bike is very subtle and very neutral. And very subtle and very neutral and engaging over a long time is something typically only Honda pulls off. But no other brand has really cracked that.
Having lived with the bike fully, what all can you do? Can you travel on this?
You could. I wouldn't buy it for travel. Okay, so if your purpose was touring, I would not buy a Vitpilen. But if you had a Vitpilen and somebody, hey, come, let's go for a trip. Yes, of course, you could. There's no crisis. There's enough space. 2 up and luggage is going to be pretty tight. But if you're riding 2 up, have a small amount of luggage, there's enough space. It has enough performance to manage the highway, no stress. At worst, you'll be 1 gear down going up a slope because the engine feels that kind of laid back and you want to be above 7,000 RPM all the time. Outside of that, no real challenge. If touring is your intent, if the 250 is what you want, the Duke 250 will still make the better tourer because the riding position is a little more amenable to that kind of activity.
Okay.
But the Duke seat is a little bit more compact than the Vitpilen seat. So again, pillion will fit. Pillion and luggage, you will have more challenges on the Duke than on this.
Okay.
But the Duke has a more normal sized and normal shaped tank, which means when you put a tank back, the Duke will take it easier than the Husqvarna because the weird tank shape.
Hi, it's me, Karthik, the one who's generally laughing and just going along with Shumi's jokes. You can catch all the jokes on the main channel. That's where they're all there. Right now, this is a bit of the serious conversation, but you can catch all the fun factor on the full video, which is on the MotorInc channel. So head out there and subscribe. And if you want more of these shorter clips, do subscribe to this channel as well.